So everybody, it's Xilicks here, and welcome to week 6 of the Baby League. This week we are facing off against Absolutism. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and the Absolutism is their team name. And this is the 6th week, as I mentioned, so this is really where things are going to start to determine whether or not we're going to make it to playoffs, just because we have 2 matches left. This is 1 of 2, and we are currently 3-3. So if we win this match, we will be, we're currently 3-2. If we win this match, we will be 4-2, which will basically guarantee us playoffs, unless we get 6-0 next week, I think. If we lose this game, then we'll be 3-3, and then we'll have to win next week by a pretty big differential if we want to make playoffs. So this matchup is pretty important to us. We are looking at quite a threatening team, though. So far, this team, before facing me, has lost twice, so they are 3-2 as well. And their draft, they have the Mienfu, which is a Z user, Alone, Grimer, Volby, Spritzy, Magami, which is the other Z user, Slowpoke, Alone, Vulpix, Goulet, Alone, Sandshrew, and Dwebble. So whenever I was building for this team, I did not expect the Hail Core. As you can see, the Hail Core was brought. I did prepare for the Hail. I have my Honedge to deal with the Alone Vulpix, and then also my Growlithe deals with the Sandshrew pretty nicely. And then Honedge can also deal with Sandshrew if it doesn't get a Sword Stance up. So I wasn't expecting the Hail because I didn't think it was too great against me, but we do see the Hail, so that's kind of nice. Now, the main thing I did not want was I did not want to see the Grimer, and we do not see the Grimer, which means he really does not have a switch into Staryu, like, at all. Spritzy can take 1 hit, but he does not, he gets 2-hit KO'd by everything, and it's not a switch in by any means. So there is that. Maybe if it's like super specially bulky, but I am running the Flash Cannon for that. So yeah, I'm looking really good this game. He did bring the Goulet. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't, because as you can see, I have my Helioptile. My Helioptile is carrying the Surf for that Goulet, but it does mean I have to kind of be careful about using electric moves. I am running the Electrium Z, so I can hit the Spritzy with a Z Thunder or Mienfu, or anything that I just need to obliterate. I have the Z move option for that. So let me give a little bit of an in-depth analysis of my team. So I have a Staryu, which outspeeds everything barring Choice Scarf users, and I believe Sandshrew in the Hail. We are Life Orb, running Surf, Flash Cannon, Psychic, and Thunderbolt. That'll hit everything he has for either super effective or neutral damage. Then we have our max defense Growlithe with the Flamethrower, Morning Sun, Toxic, and Will-O-Wisp. I am running double status just because he has a lot of bulky mons. I wanted Toxic to be able to Toxic the Slowpoke. I wanted Toxic for the Volby. I want a Will-O-Wisp for the Mienfu and the Sandshrew, and like Toxic is also good against the Spritzy and the Goulet. So I'm running a lot of different status moves just because I feel like they're beneficial. And then I have that Morning Sun, so if the Hail isn't up, I can recover for a hefty amount. With the Hail, though, the Morning Sun is going to be decreased, I believe. Then I have Sparkplug, the Helioptile. This is the first time I've ever brought Helioptile so far in this league. We are running, as I mentioned, that Electrium Z with the Thunder, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and the Surf to hit that Goulet. Next up, I have my Cubone, max defense with the Earthquake, Toxic, Knockoff, and Stealth Rock. Cubone is going to be pretty good in this matchup because I can get rid of some items, I can get the rocks up, and I can Toxic some of the bulkier mons like the Spritzy or potentially even the Goulet. Then I have my Honedge, which I'm actually running specially defensive with the Colbur Berry. The reason I'm doing that is because Mienfu cannot touch this Honedge with any physical attacks except for knockoff. So I'm not running any Phys Def, but I can take the knockoff with the Colbur Berry. Looking back on it, I probably should have run the Shuka Berry to take Earthquakes better, because he is bringing 3 Earthquake users in this game. So that was a little bit of a misplay, but I was mainly focusing on that Mienfu. Then I am running max special defense with max HP, so I can still deal with physical attackers pretty nicely just because of how high our base defense is, but we are mainly focused on special defense with our Honedge to be able to tank hits from like the Vulpix really nicely, and I believe he had obviously the Spritzy. I want to be able to deal with like a Calm Mindset with my Honedge. Then finally, I have Flabebe. We are max defense bold, running the Moonblast, Wish, Protect, Aromatherapy. I believe we've run very similar sets in the past. I think previously, though, we either had like Giga Drain or Toxic over the Protect. But yeah, so that's what we're running this week. Then looking at his team, I mentioned I wasn't really expecting the Hail. I also wasn't expecting Dwebble. I would think that he would have brought Magby, Alolan, Grimer, and the Slowpoke over those three. But we do see those three instead, which is fine. I did prepare for it. I also did not want to see that Golett, but we do see it. But I can still deal with it. Obviously with my Staryu, and obviously my defensive mons can handle it pretty well, even though I'm not bringing a ground resist this week. So without any further ado, let's get right into the battle. So whenever I looked at his team, I saw, okay, well, he doesn't have the Volby, so he can't get rid of hazards. I don't remember if Sandshrew gets Rapid Spin or not, but if Sandshrew does go for a Rapid Spin, then it's kind of just a free turn against it. So I figured I would lead off with my Cubone, as he leads with his Manfu. Now, I want to get up my rocks just right away. I considered also like knocking this thing off, which in hindsight I probably should have, because if I did knock this thing off right here, it would have put me in a really good spot for the rest of the game. But alas, I didn't knock it off, and because of that, it is going to bite me later on, because that is a Scarf Mienfoo, so that is going to outspeed a lot of our team. I do go for the knockoff here, hoping to get an item, because he didn't reveal a Life Orb or anything like that on the first turn, so I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna, knock off, maybe he's like Scarf or something, because the damage said that he wasn't like banded. He could have been Adamant Scarf or like a really high Jolly Scarf roll, but yeah, I am just going to be able to Toxic this Golett as he goes for the Earthquake, probably predicting me to switch out first and maybe also gauging the damage, but his Earthquake is not really doing too much to me. And with this thing on a timer, I feel pretty safe just staying in here. I can't really switch because my team does not have ground resists, and I considered going into my full Bebe on this turn because I was pretty confident he was going to go for the Stealth Rock there, and then I could just wish up my Cubone or Moonblast this thing or whatever it may be. But I am just going to kind of sit here and let the Toxic wear this thing down while I continue going for Earthquake. Earthquake and Knockoff do basically the same whenever he does not have an item. If he did have, if he didn't have the Colbur Berry, then I think he would have been dead by now if he just had a different item. Because this, that Toxic damage would have been enough to kill. But he is going to survive. It doesn't really matter though, because I'm just going to be able to outspeed him anyways and knock him out with a knockoff in case he decided to preserve that thing for whatever reason. So now we're going to see the Dwebble come in, and this is just screaming to me two things. One, he's going to Hazard Stack me. Two, he's going to Shell Smash, and we are going to see that Shell Smash right away. Now, I was not expecting this Dwebble to come. I didn't realize it got Shell Smash in building, but then whenever I saw it in the team preview, I was thinking, well, why would he bring this thing? And I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, it gets Shell Smash, and he is running the White Herb, so we unfortunately are not going to be able to take advantage of those lower defenses, and we're going to miss a Toxic. Now, in hindsight, missing the Toxic really didn't matter incredibly much. If I had it, though, I would have felt a little bit better, and I wouldn't have made this stupid play where I go into my full Bebe. Now, I did not know that this thing got Poison Jab. I honestly had no idea. And I'm just going to die to the Poison Jab. So now I'm sweating thinking, okay, I'm about to get 5-0'd in a game that is very important for playoffs. I cannot let this happen. I need to start doing some serious calc. So I bring in my Growlithe to get the Intimidate off. I have to sacrifice this thing. On the off chance I live, I can go for a Will-O-Wisp or whatever. But I'm not going to be living this +2 Earthquake from a Dwebble. No way, no way, no how. But with the Intimidate, it will allow my Honedge to survive an attack. Now, had I run these calcs earlier, then I could have avoided this situation entirely. I also probably could have saved my Cubone. I could have gone hard Growlithe to make him +1 for the Intimidate. And then whenever he was +1, then I could have sacked the Cubone, and then I could have gone into something else. But alas, I will be able to survive that Earthquake whenever he's only at +1. Despite having an incredibly low defense spread, and the Iron Head is going to easily be able to take that thing out. Then he's going to go into his Vulpix, and here I guess he didn't realize how especially defensive I am, because he is going to go for the Freeze Dry, which on 27 HP I actually will be able to survive. I was like praying, like, please live this, please live this, please live this. I do live it, and I'm able to go for the Iron Head, which will take down the Alolan Vulpix. However, at this point in time, he has set up the Hail. And with the Hail up, I am going to go down to obviously the damage. And at this point, it is Growlithe and Helioptile versus the world. Now, or sorry, not Growlithe, Staryu. Now, I run the calcs. Sparkplug, the Helioptile, cannot take an Earthquake. Staryu, however, I resist both of his stabs, and I'm pretty sure I can take an Earthquake depending on his item, despite how frail I am. And I actually will be able to survive this Earthquake with a pretty decent amount of HP. He reveals that he's not like some crazy boosting item. And I will be able to knock him out with the Surf because of the analytic boost. I think he thought I was Choice Specs or something, because normally that wouldn't kill. But with analytic, it's like an 1,000,000% chance to kill. But at this point, like I said earlier, this Mienfoo is Choice Scarfed. I figured that out from the damage calc, and I knew this game was over because I did not knock this thing off. Had I knocked it off in the early game, I would have been able to outspeed here. I would have, if he does not have Fake Out, which I assume he wouldn't on a Choice Scarf set, I would have been able to knock him out with the Psychic from full. If I didn't knock him out with the Psychic from full, then I can just go into my Helioptile, which would outspeed if he's not Choice Scarfed. And then I could just knock it out with a Thunderbolt. And then I could go for the Electrium Z versus that Spritzy, and I'd be able to 2-hit KO that. He was running Calm Mind, but without the boost, the Z Thunder into a Thunderbolt, I'm pretty sure it kills even if he goes for the boost or recovery turn. So yeah, had I made that knockoff play turn 1, which I really wanted to do, but I figured he was just going to U-turn, and I didn't want him U-turning into... Or sorry, I didn't want him being Z Crystal. That's what it was. I was thinking that he might have been Z Crystal, and I was like, well, I don't just want to go for a knockoff because it's going to do 0 damage versus the fighting type, and I'm not going to get rid of the Z Crystal. And I should have just done it just because even if he was Z, I don't think he would have used it versus my Cubone. I think he would have saved it for something something else, and I don't think he would have been Fightinium based on my team. I think he would have been like something to hit Snivy, or like if it gets Poison Jab, which I'm pretty sure it does, I think he would have been Poisonium Z to hit Flabebe and Snivy. But alas, it is what it is. We are unfortunately going to lose, but fortunately it's not a 5-0, it is a 2-0. I did misplay a lot there. I let my Flabebe go down for no reason. I let my Growlithe go down because I mentioned I could have gone... whenever the Cubone was out versus the Dwebble and he was going for a Shell Smash, I could have gone hard Growlithe and then sack the Cubone the next turn, then into my Honedge, surviving the Earthquake, and then knocking him out. And then I still would have had my Flabebe at full health, my Growlithe with only 1 round of Rocks damage, and then my Honedge would have been relatively weak, but he would have done what he was needed to at that point. And then had the game continued from there, I most likely would have won. The only way he could have beat me is because my Honedge was like super weakened. He could have potentially won with Spritzy depending on what set he was, but I could still Toxic Stall it with my Growlithe, and I don't think he has a great way of attacking my Growlithe just because Fairy or Fire resist Fairy. But it is what it is. That's gonna be the game. You know, I lost. I didn't think of Shell Smash in building, and I didn't really play around it the best way I could have in the actual game. But that's going to be the week 6 matchup. I will have one more matchup, at least. Week 7 will be coming up, and then if I'm able to win that matchup by a really nice differential, and also I think I need some other people to lose for me to make playoffs, because I think only 4 people make playoffs. It could be, yeah, I think only 4 make playoffs, so I need to be in the top half. And there's already some teams that are definitely ahead of me. So I need to try to beat the teams that I'm kind of tied with. And then we'll see what it is from there. Obviously, I'll let you guys know whether or not I make the playoffs at the end of next week. I have not had that battle yet, so I can't tell you yet. But I will see you guys then if you guys are excited for the next week. And if you want to see more of the Baby League, make sure to check the description down below to follow all the different coaches. Make sure to check out my Twitter for any updates, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, thanks, bye.